Hey guys, Mika here, and I'm bringing you quite the inventive custom ukulele by Ono. And this is quite the unique instrument. As you can see right off the bat, there is no sound hole on the front, but there's also some really unique features about this instrument. So, starting off at the front, this is Port Orford cedar, but it's also laminated with some spruce that's on the back end of the instrument. So as I look through the side ports that I'll show in a moment, I can see that nice big piece of the spruce right alongside. It's like glued together, sandwiched together. So spruce on the back here of those of the Port Orford cedar, and then Port Orford cedars here on the top, and then on the sides and back, beautiful pheasant wood. Look at that! Look at that! That's so crazy. That is beautiful. I love all the grain patterns and all of the little like spaltiness in the wood. All of these dots and the different colors, just really beautiful. And just the stark contrast of the lighter wood here in the middle, as well as the darker sides. I mean, take a look at that. Just like half and half. Just beautiful. But if we turn our attention to this side, look at those two big side sound parts. So this pretty much replaces the not having the traditional sound hole on the top, and you're having these two big side ports that you have on the upper bout as well as the lower bout of the instrument. So talk about I can't hear the instrument, all the sounds going in front. Well, now all the sound is coming straight towards your face. So, when I'm playing this instrument, definitely you hear a good chunk of the sound coming directly towards your face. So you get to enjoy all of this tone, really good stuff. And it's quite fitting because the name of this instrument, the Ono instrument, in Hawaiian, I guess we have the Okina in front of it, but in Hawaiian, Ono means delicious or good. So I would argue this has a delicious sound, especially with all that oozing of the tone is coming straight to your face with these nice two big side ports right here. So again, pheasant wood on the sides and back, very striking, very beautiful with the contrast. Port Orford cedar along with the laminate spruce on the inside of the instrument that's sandwiched together like this. And then the aesthetics of the darker wood binding here on the sides and back just really mesh well with the overall aesthetics of the instrument. So that kind of brownish look with the brown and then that blondish color again in the back, and then that kind of natural kind of tannish color of the Port Orford cedar. We also have the pheasant wood on the bridge, the fretboard, as well as the headstock with mother of pearl for the Ono logo here on the top, as well as sinker mahogany wood as the neck on the back with Goto planetary, UPT planetary tuner, some of the best tuners that you can have on your instrument. And then one last thing to note is that we have, or two last things to note is that we have a slight wood purfling binding that wraps around that darker color wood that wraps around the instrument, as well as around the front of the instrument, again on the sides, as well as the around the perimeter on the back of the instrument, as well as on the side of the fretboard. This is the binding of the fretboard around the entire headstock, wraps all the way around and to the other side. Now, as you can see here with the neck, see, so cool because I'm talking into the side part and I can hear my voice reverberating. It sounds so cool when I talk into this. But essentially, you can see in the camera that the fretboard is raised off of the body of the instrument. So some pretty cool innovative stuff. I've seen this before in some other ukes, but to see it again, very nice. And then some other things that's unique, and because the side parts are so big, I can see that there's these two rods, one that's kind of sticking like this in this angle, and then as well as it's kind of like sticking like this from the bottom of the instrument to reinforce the insides of the ukulele. Really cool. I don't think I've ever seen like literal rods that's kind of, you can hopefully maybe you can see it in the camera, you can see the rods that's sticking out right here into the neck itself. So really cool stuff. Now, when you have this kind of orientation with the ukulele, meaning you don't have a traditional, sound hole in the front, you have these two big side ports on the back, it really quite drastically affects the sound of the instrument. So when if I strum a C chord, immediately you can hear like the sound wanting to come out from the front of the instrument, but because it's closed off, you can hear kind of that like not so much echo, but you could hear the low ends really like it's really just bouncing back and forth in the instrument because it really wants to come out here, but it's just the sound keeps going like this. So it comes out towards your face, but it gives it more of a lower end response, and you get a lot more of that oomph into the sound. So especially when I'm picking, for me personally, I can feel like that sound again wants to jump out of the front, but it has nowhere to go but to my face. So not only can I feel those like vibrations and the reverberations going inside, I can also hear it coming towards my face. Especially when I'm plucking on the E string, I can really just feel it. So it's very interesting, especially on the C string, and then especially on this low G string. You get such a clean tone because you're not having the sound escape from you. So everything is kind of kept within the instrument. And again, because everything more or less is coming through these side sound ports coming towards your face, the clarity of the sound, you can just hear it like bells. Very articulate. But because you don't have the sound hole in the front, again, you got a lot of nice low ends to the instrument. So it almost kind of reminds you of playing like an archtop guitar where you don't have the sound hole in the front. So it just feels, the sound is denser. It's not like, open and like there's like this sphere sound because we're not having the sound hole in the front. Everything is coming towards your face. So it's giving off a very interesting type of sound that I'm usually not used to. So very inventive and very unique at the same time. So, but I just love how clean it is, and again with the lower end response. But it still has a sweet tone to it. Still a sweet rounded tone. Nice for vibrato and sustain. It's still quite a loud instrument, even though you're losing that projection from not having a sound hole in the front, pushing it forward. I still feel like the projection, especially towards my face because of the side sound port, I feel like the projection is really nice and it's a loud instrument. So but I just love the unique sound factor of it. So let's go ahead and check it out with the sound sample. Here we go. Here's a popular one. Yeah, really nice, just really sweet, but still having again that lower end response, so you get just more kind of just oomph to it. So different kind of sound than a traditional sounding ukulele, again because of the side ports and all the sound and tone coming to my face and not projecting forward. Yeah, just really unique sound, very different from what I'm usually used to hearing. So let's go ahead and show them on this instrument.